Have you ever felt a little lighter after writing something down? Maybe it was a list, a memory, or a thought that was swirling in your mind. Once you put it on paper, the weight seemed to shift. For seniors, especially those over 70, writing can become more than a task. It can become a therapy, a way to make sense of feelings, to capture memories, and to remind themselves that their lives are still filled with meaning. Journaling is one of the simplest and most powerful tools for mental health, and yet it is often overlooked. With just a pen and paper, seniors can reduce stress, reflect on their lives, and even heal gently from old wounds. Across the United States, many seniors quietly confess their fears. They worry about memory slipping away, about loneliness that stretches through long days, about feeling invisible in a world that moves too fast. These fears are real, but journaling offers a way to face them with courage. Each page becomes a companion, a mirror, a place where thoughts are safe. Journaling doesn't judge, doesn't rush, doesn't forget. It listens, and that listening can be profoundly healing. Consider Helen, a 78-year-old retired nurse in Michigan. After decades of caring for others, she struggled with anxiety in retirement. "I felt restless, like I didn't know who I was anymore," she admitted. A friend suggested journaling. At first, Helen resisted. "I'm not a writer," she said, but eventually she tried. Each morning she wrote a single sentence about how she felt. Soon, those sentences grew into paragraphs. Months later, Helen reflected, "I found myself on those pages. I realized I was still more than a nurse, more than a retiree. I was a woman with stories, with strength, with hope." For Helen, journaling was not about creating perfect prose. It was about creating peace. Why does journaling work so well? Science offers an answer. Writing by hand engages parts of the brain linked to memory and emotion. When seniors write, they activate neural pathways that strengthen recall. At the same time, journaling lowers cortisol, the stress hormone, calming the nervous system. It acts like a release valve, letting worries out so the mind can breathe. Studies show that seniors who journal regularly report lower anxiety, better sleep, and improved mood. But beyond science, journaling taps into something deeply human, the need to tell our story.
Nancy, 74 in Texas, discovered journaling after her doctor suggested it for anxiety. At first, she didn't know what to write. "I stared at the page and thought, 'My life is boring,'" she laughed. But she decided to answer one simple prompt. "What made me smile today?" She wrote about her neighbor's dog, about a phone call from her daughter, about the taste of fresh coffee. Slowly, she realized her days were not empty. They were filled with small joys she had overlooked. Journaling shifted her focus from fear to gratitude. "Now," Nancy said, "I end each day with a smile."
Joseph, 81, in Michigan, used journaling for grief. After losing his wife, he felt a void that no words could fill. A counselor encouraged him to write letters to her. At first, Joseph cried as he wrote, but over time, those letters became conversations, a way to process loss. "I tell her about my day, about the kids, about my feelings," he explained. It feels like she's still here with me. Journaling gave Joseph comfort, a way to carry love forward. Dolores, a 76-year-old retired teacher in California, used journaling for memory. She worried she was forgetting too much, so she began writing daily reflections about her past, stories from her childhood, her career, her travels. Her grandchildren loved reading them. Dolores said, "I thought I was losing my memories, but writing them down gave them back to me." Journaling preserved her history and gave her family a gift. These stories show the diverse ways seniors use journaling: to find identity, to ease anxiety, to heal grief, to preserve memory. But many seniors still hesitate. They say, "I don't know what to write." That's why prompts are so powerful. Prompts are gentle questions or ideas that guide the pen, that make the blank page less intimidating. And seniors who follow journaling prompts often discover insights they never expected. So what kinds of prompts work best? Let's explore through stories and insights. A prompt like, "What am I grateful for today?" shifts focus from worry to appreciation. Grace, 75 in New York, used this prompt daily. "At first, I could only think of one thing," she said. "But soon, I found dozens. The sound of birds, the kindness of a cashier, the smile of a stranger. Gratitude was hiding everywhere." Another prompt, "What is one challenge I overcame?" helps seniors build confidence. Helen used this after recalling the long nights she worked as a nurse. "I remembered my strength. I remembered I had already survived so much. If I could survive that, I can face today." A third prompt, "What advice would I give to my younger self?" encourages reflection and self-compassion. Joseph wrote to his 20-year-old self, "Don't worry so much. Life will give you pain, but also joy."
And you are stronger than you think. Writing this reminded him that wisdom was still alive in him, waiting to be shared. Prompts like, "What do I want to remember about today?" or "What made me laugh?" remind seniors that each day, no matter how ordinary, carries moments worth holding. Dolores wrote about her granddaughter's silly joke. "I laughed so hard I had to write it down," she said. Reading it later, she laughed again. Journaling became a way to relive joy. Beyond prompts, journaling works because it creates routine. Seniors often find their days blending together, time slipping quietly. But when they journal each morning or evening, they create structure. That structure itself provides comfort, a sense of control.
For seniors who fear losing independence, journaling becomes an anchor. Families can encourage journaling too. Instead of asking only, "How are you?" they can ask, "What did you write today?" This shows seniors that their words matter, that their reflections are valued. Communities can help by offering journaling circles, where seniors share what they've written if they choose. In these groups, laughter and tears flow freely, and loneliness fades. You see, journaling is not about writing a novel. It is about writing yourself into presence. Seniors who practice it daily stay mentally sharper, emotionally calmer, and spiritually stronger. Their fears of invisibility fade, because each page says, "I exist. My story matters." So tomorrow morning, instead of starting with worry, imagine opening a notebook. Imagine writing, "Today I am grateful for," or "One memory I want to keep is," or "What made me laugh today was." Within minutes, the mind shifts, anxiety softens, hope rises. The page becomes a friend. And now I turn to you. If you are a senior, what would you write today? If you are a family member, will you give your loved one a journal and say, "Your words matter"? Share your answer in the comments. Your story may inspire another to pick up a pen and begin. Share this video with someone who needs encouragement, and subscribe to Verdant Years, where each week we bring you stories, tools, and inspiration to help seniors live with reflection, healing, and joy. Because aging is not about fading into silence. It is about writing new chapters with wisdom, with courage, with laughter. Journaling is not just writing, it is self-healing, and every senior deserves that healing, one page at a time.